On September 23rd, Hurricane Ian made landfall as a strong Category 4 hurricane, causing massive storm surge, flooding, and damage to Florida. The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, working on behalf of the Federal Emergency Management Agency, has been on the ground ever since, working to get Floridians back on their feet in the aftermath of this powerful storm. We take a look at those efforts on this edition of Corps Connection. Welcome to the November 2022 Corps Connection. I'm your host, Patrick Bloodgood. As the waters and winds subsided from Hurricane Ian, USACE, working for FEMA, moved in to assist. USACE has multiple missions when it comes to disaster response efforts. New England District's First Lieutenant Brianna Karanopoulos details those efforts.
First Lieutenant Brianna Karanopoulos. I'm originally from the New England District, and I was called down here to support the hurricane effort in response as a operations officer with the Jacksonville USACE District Emergency Operations Center. I arrived right before the hurricane hit, about 2 days before, and so far this is my first deployment responding to any type of natural disaster such as. So it is an incredible experience, and just to see the amount of effort coming from across the nation to support the state of Florida during a disaster like this. So USACE, their role during disasters, there are 4 mission types. The first being temporary roofing, the blue roofing that you may be seeing coming up around the neighborhoods if you are in an affected area. The second would be temporary power, so just trying to get as much power back. The third being debris, as we are here now. You can see all the activity going on currently, the amount of debris being collected on a day-to-day basis. We see trucks coming in and out the whole day, just unloading vegetation, anything that these homeowners have lost. And our fourth being the critical infrastructure assessments. So here we're doing our best, working around the clock, 7 days a week, giving back to those who have lost the most. Our goal is to just not stop until we know that we have made an impact and have helped as many people as possible while we're down here.
In the wake of any powerful storm where damage is widespread, first responders have to make sure facilities are structurally sound and safe for occupation or use. Your U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, working with FEMA, was doing just that, as USACE structural engineers from around the nation went building by building in the hardest hit areas to assess their integrity.
My name is Christine Tamara. I'm a structural engineer from the Honolulu district. So right now we're at Fort Myers Beach. We're doing the detailed structural assessments. So Lee County had us come out through FEMA, and that came about because we went around and we looked at every single structure on here, and we picked out a couple that needed a little bit of a further assessment, and we're out here to help the people, help Lee County and FEMA to do these assessments. And it kind of helps them know if their house or their structure is safe to go back into, if they can, get their all of their belongings out, and just have a peace of mind of what their house is looking like. Being from Hawaii, I know, we do have some natural disasters, but I have never seen really a natural disaster before, and coming here on the first day, it was really hard. It was really grounding to just see all of the devastation and know that these people had to live through this and have to pick their lives back up. And just being a small part and being able to help them get to do that has been really awesome. I think just being able to talk to the homeowners really and hearing their stories. Some of them wrote it out in their homes here, and they were almost like swept away. They've lost so much, but they're so resilient, and it really shows the strength of human nature, and just the ability to pick back up and keep going with life has been super inspiring.
Debris from Hurricane Ian is a major hurdle for residents to overcome as they put their lives back together. USACE served as a technical monitor for FEMA and the state of Florida as crews worked to clean up the area, getting it ready for the rebuilding process.
My name is Steve Lindemood. I'm from the Fort Worth District. I'm out here being the debris SME for the National Cadre. We're out here supporting FEMA and the state and providing technical monitoring, making sure that all the debris operations are within FEMA guidelines. It starts with the property owner on the street. They separate the debris into different categories. These sites here, they handle generally vegetated debris, C&D debris, white goods, and e-waste. And it all starts with the homeowner or the private property owner on that right-of-way. Then it goes to here, and it gets separated, it gets manipulated, it gets hauled out. And so behind us you can see they're reducing the vegetation. That's part of the process of handling that debris before it gets to its final disposal. The primary importance of reduction is just to minimize the amount of time it takes and the amount of equipment it takes to haul it to that final disposal. So if it would take a lot more truckloads to do it, for example, if they didn't reduce that vegetation. You got to get it out of there, and right now it's hampering recovery efforts from everybody that's involved in those operations. And so, and there's a safety aspect with that as well, sitting on the ground. So they've got to remove it, and these are temporary sites where we're at now. They'll all be hauled to a final disposal site eventually. Ultimately is making sure all the debris gets removed for the private citizens, and so they can get into their recovery mode.
In addition to household debris, massive amounts of sand was pushed around by Ian's storm surge and winds. In order to open up the roadways and restore sand on the beaches, efforts are underway to put the sand back in place.
Hi, my name is Stetson Smith. I'm with the Army Corps of Engineers out in the Vicksburg district, and right now I'm acting as a debris subject matter expert for the Lee County sand disposal site. So behind me we have the Lee County sand sifting operations. Right now we have 7 to 9 trucks hauling in material at nighttime. We're running daytime operations for the sifting procedures. Right now sand is preliminary put into a hopper. We have large screeners that separate large material from finer, and we use vibration and various screen sizes to sift out various size material. When the material is coming out of the sifter, we have 3 piles. One of them produces the large, coarser material. The second one has finer material with some contaminants in it, and the pile you see behind me is the sifted sand that is clean and ready to go out on the Fort Myers beaches. So this area has been hit with a severe storm surge. When the storm surge came in, it brought all the silt and material that you see behind me onto public roadways. And for us to resume operations and to help out the local community, we have to remove that sand from the roadways and dispose of it properly and put it back on the beaches. The storm was not only devastating to the area, but it was also devastating to the local economy. Florida is home to many residents that rely on income from tourism. So you have millions of people coming from out of state to enjoy Florida's beaches and the beautiful scenery. So it is very important for us to get this sand back on the beaches, so hopefully it will provide us some sense of normalcy in the near future for them to get back up and running and have tourists come out and enjoy the beautiful area. Not only is it important for the economy, but it's also important for the local ecosystem. You have many different species of plants and animals that rely on the beaches. So it's very important for us to stabilize their ecosystem to the best of our ability so that not only the economy can rebound, but the local ecosystem as well. It'll be a little while before things get back to normal, but from what I've seen, this community has came together and helped each other out in their time of need, so I know it won't be long at all before Fort Myers Beach is back up and running the way it used to be before the storm.
One of the most notable efforts that took place this past month is Operation Blue Roof, a priority mission managed by the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers for FEMA. Operation Blue Roof provides homeowners and permanently occupied rental properties in disaster areas with fiber-reinforced sheeting to cover their damaged roofs until arrangements can be made for permanent repairs. Within a 30-day period, USACE contractors were able to put on more than 20,000 blue roofs throughout 5 counties in southwest Florida.
The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers and its contractors commemorated the last day of Operation Blue Roof construction today, marking the end of the program that provided temporary roofing protection to Florida homes damaged by Hurricane Ian. The program covered more than 20,250 roofs, installing about 900 acres of reinforced industrial-strength sheeting on homes in Charlotte, Collier, DeSoto, Lee, and Sarasota counties.
This has been the most successful Blue Roof mission that the Corps has had in terms of speed. So in just a little over 30 days, we've accomplished over 20,000 temporary roofs. It provides a temporary solution to the homeowners so that they can move into their homes. That's the most important thing, is helping people move back into their homes until they can get a contractor out to permanently repair their roofs.
Operation Blue Roof, managed by USACE for FEMA, is a no-cost, free service for homeowners. While today marks the last of Blue Roof installations, the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers Jacksonville District will continue to support impacted communities well after hurricane recovery missions are done. For the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, I'm Jay Field, Port Charlotte, Florida.
In addition to these efforts, USACE also provided temporary emergency power to critical facilities and worked with inland counties that saw floodwaters from area waterways. Though certain response activities are winding down, others are continuing on, and USACE is committed to be on the ground in the affected areas until the missions are complete. So that wraps up this edition of Corps Connection. We'll be back next month to cover all the efforts your U.S. Army Corps of Engineers is working on. Until then, to our veterans, happy Veterans Day. Thank you for your service. This has been Corps Connection.